What's up, my brothers? So in this video I want to talk about the importance of being precise with your wording. Some of you may be familiar with a book called The Four Agreements. We got emergency vehicles coming, gotta wait for that, which talks about being impeccable with your word is, I believe, the first agreement and what they deem the most important one as well. So I've noticed throughout a lot of the coaching that I've done with a lot of these dudes right now that they use language and wording that isn't particularly useful to them. It doesn't serve them, and it in fact puts them in a very bad position language-wise. I've been paying very close attention to this over the last few months, and I find it interesting that the guys that always seem to have the most problems dealing with life, their relationships, their business, and all that sort of stuff tend to generally use language that isn't, one, precise, and two, serves a strong masculine frame. I'm going to give you three examples in this video. So the first one is think versus feel. When you listen to men and women speak, you're going to notice a stark difference in the language used when conversations are coming up. Most women, you'll notice, and you'll start to catch this now, so pay very close attention to these three tips here. Most women, you'll notice, will open up most conversations, especially when they're responding to something with "I feel like," okay? And it's very, very common. You'll also notice that weaker, more beta men, more pussified men, these guys that aren't particularly successful or getting what they want in life will also start to use, or they already use, words like "I feel like." And that's the wrong way to go about it. As a guy, you shouldn't be feeling like anything. You should be basically responding, or when you're making these statements, with "I think." A thinker, a rational mind, will have conversations using "I think," not "I feel." Feel is like my gut feels, my heart feels. You get the idea, right? Like, those are the conversations that more women will start with, especially when it comes to like a lot of modern topics today, when it comes to the sexes and genders and all that. So that's the first one that I want you to be well aware of, is that these conversations don't necessarily need to go in that direction if you're aware of what it is that you're talking about. So, number one. Number two is partner versus wife. This one's incredibly funny to me. This is not something that my parents would have used when they were having conversations with each other when I was a kid. My dad called my mom his wife. My mom called my dad her husband. There was no use of the word partner. The word partner today gets overused far too often, and I find, it started with women. I first heard it maybe about 10 years ago. I was in a relationship with this chick that was, more left-leaning, more sort of liberalized sort of thing. And I remember we were out somewhere and we were talking about something with a sales clerk, and she referred to me as her partner. And I looked at her afterwards and I'm like, "Why'd you call me your partner? Like, I'm your boyfriend. Like, you don't ever call me that again." And it's like, "Oh, I'm just trying to be like more neutral and equal sort of stuff." And this word partner, guys, I'm telling you right now, stop using it. It doesn't serve you. It makes you look silly, even though you may not feel it or understand it, if you know what I'm saying, the way that you're using it, but it makes you look quite silly. Never use that. Like, if she's your girlfriend, call her your girlfriend. If she's your wife, call her your wife. If she's a girl that you're dating, refer to her as a friend if you want. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you haven't had the talk where she comes at you and wants to have a conversation about exclusivity or anything like that, or where do we stand, she's just a girl that you're dating. My date, you can refer to her as. But stop calling the opposite sex your partner. Law firms call partners partners when they've made partner. It's an accomplishment, and there's a certain degree of privilege that comes along with that. There's no like partnerships and relationships. It's there's men and there's women, and men bring certain value to the table, women bring other value to the table. There's nothing equal about it. It's complementary. Refer to it in that tone, not in such a way where you're like, oh, she's my partner. It's not a business. It's not a, like a LLP or anything like that. You're not a law firm and she made partner or you made partner or any of those things. Stop referring to somebody else as your partner. Again, 4 agreements. Number 1, be impeccable with your word. And all that really means is be precise with your wording, okay? It doesn't need to be complex. It doesn't need to be complicated. Third and final example, which I'm going to present to you in this video, is I had this conversation on a Zoom call the other night, and I was talking to this guy who was asking a question about this woman that he was dating for several months, and he was having a hard time with her. She was becoming an energy vampire is basically what it boils down to. And what he said to her is, I can't do that anymore, okay? Or I can't handle that anymore. And I picked up on it immediately, and I said, well, instead of saying I can't, why don't you say I won't or I don't do that? And there's a big difference between that. When a man says I can't, what you're implying, and again, if you're newer to my channel, men are expected to be competent. We're expected to make something of ourselves. Women just need to be, right? Women are born, all they have to do is preserve their beauty. Men need to make something of ourselves. We have to become masculine. We have to become men. We have to learn how to make money, make it rain, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so you can't come at conversations like this with a response like I can't. I just said it right there. I can't, right? It's I won't do that or I don't do that. So if she's making certain demands, let's say in this particular example, I want you to do this and you need to come to this event with me and and I need you to wear this pink pussy hat at this event, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like a bit of a strange example for you, but you get what I'm saying. The only response you need to give her is, I don't do that, right? I've seen guys when I was younger be like, homie, don't play that game, right? It's like, it's very, very simple. It's like, I don't do that. I don't roll that way, okay? That's not me, okay? And when you say I can't, you're implying to her that you don't have the skill, right? I can't make that, something that I heard kids say in school, or I can't solve that problem, meaning they're incompetent and they're not able to solve the problem. Don't use that word. Use I don't or I won't. I don't even care. Just go, homie, don't roll that way, if you know what I'm saying. But precision in wording, be attentive to it. It makes a big difference in the conversations that you have. You may not notice it right now up until this video. Hopefully now that you've seen this video, you will become more attentive to it and you will be a little more precise in your wording when you're having conversations, especially when you're dealing with the opposite sex. Because if you're not precise in your wording, you will use words like, dudes will say things all the time like, I feel like, or I can't, right? Be very precise. I think. I don't do that. It's not complex, but it's a little bit more difficult for you to do because, again, most guys are conditioned to use softer, weaker, more neutralized language like my partner, if they're in a relationship, instead of my girlfriend. Stop calling her your partner. Call her your woman. Call her your girlfriend. I don't care. If she's calling you a king, call her a queen. It's up to you. It doesn't matter to me. But stop using ridiculous neutral terms like partner or feminized terms like I can't, for example. You get the drift. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this video. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me at the end of the day. I'm driving the McLaren, so whatever. But the point that I'm making, guys, is precision in wording matters. It is incredibly important. And when you're more attentive to it, you will deal with it and you will end up using the correct language more often than not. Leave a thumbs up. There's some pinned comments at the top of this video with links to my book, The Unplugged Alpha. You should get it if you haven't read it. My community, Booking Me for Coaching, a whole bunch of other stuff. Check it out. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.